Today's show is brought to you by Prescott Honda. Better cars don't cost more.
Shara Lawrence-Weiss with us. She is the founder of Personal Child Stories, and this stems from a personal experience with her son. This all started when your son was born, and I believe he had eye problems.
Yep, he had several diseases in his right eye. There's a lot of medical terms for it, but the eye got removed and then replaced with what's called a hydroxyapatite, which is coral from the ocean, and they make the eye out of that.
How old was he when this happened?
The eye came out 10 days after he turned 1.
Oh.
Wow.
So the idea was born from this, and the idea was born from your son's situation. But why this idea? What inspired you to write it?
You know, I talked with my mom about, he kept pulling his eye out and hiding it in cereal boxes and chewing on it and putting it places because it's a foreign object, you know. You can't find anything at the library that talks about leaving your prosthetic eye in. So I went and got, you know, I took real pictures and then had a couple of books laminated at an office supply store to kind of help him modify that behavior. Let's keep your eye in. Let's wear your glasses for safety, you know, rocks, sticks, things like that.
And your first one was?
These two were the first two, yeah.
Glasses was the first, one of the first two. And things like, I have a nice pair of glasses, and then verbiage like, lots of people that I love wear glasses just like me.
Right.
When he saw this in the book, in book form, did that change his behavior?
Big time. You know, most research will tell us that about 3 weeks you'll form a pattern, you know, behavior pattern. So about 3 weeks I read the books to him and he started to say, you know, oh, I need to leave my eye in, I need to wear my glasses. So it took about 3 weeks.
Mom was saying that to him, Dad was saying that, but when he saw himself in
the book, it made all the difference.
Because it was him.
It was him, it was totally individualized, personalized, his photographs. You know, and then of course the text saying why it's important to do this, why you would leave your eye in.
Did he show off his book? Does he show?
He did. He took them to class, and the teachers read them in kindergarten, preschool, kindergarten, and first grade. They read those books. Yep.
And that birthed the business.
It did. It took me about 8 years. I was going to school to get my elementary ed degree, and then got pregnant. And then in the middle of the second pregnancy, decided I'll start a business.
So now word spread and people came to you. Did you seek out? How does this evolve?
You know, most of my friends knew about the books, and so for years had said, why don't you do something with this? Why don't you do something else? You know, little kids, you want them to have books, but they tear them up. They rip them to shreds. It's covered in heavy-duty lamination. They can't touch them. You know, 10 years. These books are still standing. So
you do it for all type of ailments and with small children?
I do medical issues. I actually just had somebody order a book last night. The dad died in a car accident, and so the mom wants me to put a book together with the photographs so that the little boy will remember his dad. Sexual abuse I've done, helping kids overcome all kinds of behavior issues and
now,
divorce.
This is Autism Awareness Month.
Autism Awareness Month, right.
Yeah.
Well, somebody else by the name of Carol Gray started something called Social Stories, and it was kind of this concept that you put images and text into format to kind of help kids at the grocery store and kids who have trouble, you know, transitioning from one thing to the next. I kind of decided, like with photographs, to me it seems very effective to show a child their own pictures, their own family, their own pets, you know, and then individualize the text.
Yes,
so it's got their name in it, it's got, you know, family of pets, so oh, that's about me, you know.
So this has really got to be grabbing hold for you. Are a lot of people responding to this?
It has. I've made books for people all over the world now. I've had people order from Australia and India and Singapore. And
so they contact you through the
internet and then send me their photos and say, my child's having this issue, or, you know, we'd really like to have help with numbers or letters.
Do you write it then?
I write all of them.
Okay.
Yep. I have a background in journalism, and so no books are pre-written. Every single story is
individualized.
Individualized.
Words that will
help that child. Yep.
Exactly.
Exactly. Perfect.
Now, when doing this, the length of time to put one together, they send you the pictures and then you put the text. Do people say how long they want it? Is this up to you?
I have worked with kids for over 23 years, so I kind of know, like, a baby book needs to be 6 to 8 pages, no more. You know, you're not going to have an 18-month. You're not going to have an 18-month sitting on your lap for an hour and a half. You know, so you're not going to read a chapter book.
Right.
So based on their age and their stage, and I asked the parents, are they reading yet? Because it's not really based on age; it's stage. You know, some 3-year-olds are reading.
Yeah,
you know,
so
and some 6-year-olds are not.
Not age, stage.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm thinking this would work for any child. I realize how important it is for a child with an ailment. but even a young...
This could be self-esteem for any child.
Exactly.
Right.
And I think our teenagers probably need something like this. I think
well, I mean, you know, these are laminated partly because a lot of kids with special needs too get real frustrated writing, and so you can write things over and over again and erase them. And so it's kind of a strategy for early childhood. But you know, I've had people order them for like a grandma as a coffee table book with her grandkids' pictures. But you can get scrapbooks at Snapfish and places like that. So this is more early childhood focused, but.
What's the cost? Is it? I guess it depends.
$30 is what I do. The ones that are like medical. So if I wrote one book that was about heart disease, and so I really had to research that, and it took me a month to make the book, and that was $60. So I mean, weeks. You know, most of them are 6 to 8 hours a book to make. So it's not like it's
teenage books
quickly
to deter them from drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, there you go.
This would be This is why you should not.
Behavior modifications. Yeah, there you go.
You have a website, I'm certain of.
I do. Personalchildstories.com.
And they can find out everything they want to know.
They can find out there, and I've got videos on there to show like how the books can be used and all the different ones that can be made. So.
Do you keep prices reasonable? Well, what's reasonable in today's world? But I'm sure they're
$30 is what most of the books are.
So most are. You have a flat.
Yep, most of them are just 30 because I found for some people they go real quickly, and I write the rough draft and I send it and they go, that's perfect, print it. You know, other people are like, can we modify this one a little bit? I found a picture I like better than that one. Certainly. So it's kind of like any small business. Some people it's faster, other people.
Certainly a wonderful idea.
It is,
wonderful
and you know, I'm sensing the
Thank
beauty of this. I mean, you're writing this, but the parent has a hand in this.
Oh, all the way through. Yep, all the way through.
Where they want it to go. Right?
Yep, and I often say, well, you sit your child on your lap, read it from the computer screen, and see if they react to it. If we don't get the response we want from page 3, then let's change the text and modify. So they can be pretty time consuming.
How's Chandler doing?
He's great. He's 12 now. So he gets a new eye made every year. We fly to Oregon. There's a guy there that's spectacular. The orbital growth around the eye has to keep going, and so you've got to make the eye bigger so the brain knows. Otherwise, that side shrivels up. So every year we fly back, and he gets a new eye made. Yep.
Well, say hello to him.
Shara, you're an inspiration.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for having me.
You bet. All the very best.
When we come back, as I promised, they're going to teach me how to garden. And I know nothing. This is Gardening 101 for me. But first, we're going to talk to the chef and the concept director at Murphy's Restaurant, Fork in the Road Restaurants, to be specific. When we come back, we'll be in the kitchen.